Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Star Citizen. So, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me for a brand new episode of Star Citizen. This is day 3 of Invictus Launch Week. And, guys, remember, there's a free fly going on right now in Star Citizen. If you aren't into Star Citizen, like if you don't own a Star Citizen game package, you guys can come in and fly all of the ships pretty much available on each single day for free for 2 days, I believe it is, for 48 hours. So you can fly all of the ships, pretty much all of the ships that are available for Invictus Launch Week, which are mainly military ships, combat ships, for absolutely free. So you guys can check it out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for day 3. Now, I know some of you guys like to watch only small parts of these videos, but however, there is a small minority of you out there that watch the whole video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. I appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. So I'm going to try and keep these videos really short and to the point. So let's get started, guys. So today, we have a whole bunch of manufacturers here today, but we're going to start with these 3 large behemoth ships right here. So this is the Crusader Hercules. So these are the 3 Crusader Hercules models. Now there is the C2, which is the one that you see there. There is the M2, which is that one, I believe. And then there is the A2, which is not here today. It's not available. So the C2, let's go ahead and speak about the C2. So the C2 has just been released pretty much into the game. And what it is a large hauler. It is basically a large equivalent to the modern world C-130 Hercules. It is pretty much named after the C-130 Hercules, in my opinion. Now, this ship is from the same manufacturer that does the Crusader Mercury Star runner. So basically, this thing has all of the bells and whistles that the Mercury Star runner has. For example, light control and all of that. It is a very nice looking ship. I will be doing a review on the C2 very, very shortly. There will be a video coming up on the C2 very, very shortly. But it is just it's a cargo hauler. The C2 is a civilian version of a cargo hauler, and it can carry, I think, 670 SCU of cargo, or close to that. Now, the M2, which is the one that you guys can see over there, the M2 is the military version that has more armor. That thing has more armor, a lot more armor than the C2, but it can carry less cargo. So in fact, it can carry 200 less SCU of cargo. So that's the tank. that's the card for the tank. Of course, we'll get to the tank first later. So here's the M2. I believe it is. Or it could be that one. Actually, it could be that one. That could be the M2. So the only difference between the C2 and the M2 is that the M2 will have more armor. It is better armored, like in terms of actual panels, armor panels. So it is more heavily armored than the C2, but it can carry 200 less SCU. And it has an extra pair of turrets, I believe. An extra pair of turrets. One on the back, right here. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a turret here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, there it is. So it has an extra pair of turrets and more armor, but 200 less SCU of cargo, and it's more expensive. Now, if I were to pick one out of the C2 or the M2, obviously the A2 isn't out yet, so the A2, let's just talk about that real quick. The A2 is the kind of a bomber version of the Hercules. It is kind of like the AC-130 to the C-130 of the modern world. So as you guys, if you're not into airplanes, let me explain. So the C-130 Hercules is a cargo transport plane, and the AC-130 Spectre gunship is a ground attack version. But anyways, the A2 is not here yet. But from the M2 or the C2, I'd personally pick the C2 because that extra 200 units of cargo is really, really important. It's really important. That's a lot. 200 SCU of cargo is like 2 Freelancer Max's worth of cargo. And it is cheaper as well. So out of the M2 or the C2, I'd pick the C2. Honestly, I'd pick the C2 because it won't have that much armor to basically save you, really. Like, this is not a ship where you would actually want to get into a fight with anything else, to be honest. You don't want to go into combat with a large ship like this. So regardless of how much armor you have, in my opinion, you're still not going to survive. So you might as well get the ship that is cheaper, and it can transport a whole lot of cargo. So at the moment, this thing is, I think, is the highest, the biggest cargo holder in the game. Like, it's bigger than the Caterpillar as well. So 670-ish units of SU of cargo. So now, the C2 is designed to carry the tanks. So it's designed to carry the Nova tanks right here. So one of the reasons why this thing was designed, like, within law and like within the story of the game, was to be able to carry tanks into battle, basically a tank transport. So this is the Nova tank. Star Citizen now has a tank. Now this thing has been in development for a very long time. The Nova tank was out for concept long time ago. Now let's go ahead and open the door. So the Nova tank is basically like a battle tank. It's a battle tank. It has a size 5 main gun. For its main gun, it is a size 5 gun by Hurston Dynamics. It also has 2 size 2 roof-mounted machine guns, as you guys might be able to see right there. So 2 size 2 machine guns, as well as, I believe it's either 8 or 12 size 2 missiles as well. So it can dish out it can dish out pain against other hardened targets with its main gun. It can engage infantry or lighter targets with the 2 laser repeaters, and it can engage spacecraft or aircraft using the missiles. So let's go ahead and get inside. God, that music is loud. That music is so loud. So yeah, here's the tank. So it has 3 positions. Obviously it has a gunner position, driver position, and a support position. Now, Star Citizen or CIG's lack of military advice comes through with this tank. So they've named the driver pilot, they've named this seat as support, and this guy over here as gunner. So what I would name it is the driver, commander, gunner. That's what you would have in a tank, really, instead of support. Now, yeah, that could all be changed, but the tank looks great. The tank look absolutely awesome. The cool thing is you can actually stand up in here. So if I go to third person, you guys can see that you can actually stand inside the tank. This is really nice compared to modern day tanks where you have to crawl pretty much. And it doesn't have a turret basket. So it doesn't have any turret. It doesn't have a turret basket as such. And yeah, so it's a tank. It's a tank. It's a really nice tank. Now, what would you need a tank for? That's up for debate. Obviously, it's fully tracked. It's fully tracked. It has armor, really nice armor. The main gun, as I said, and the armor in the front is sloped quite nicely. So, yeah. That's the tank. Now, should you buy a tank? I don't know. Do you need a tank? What do you need a tank for? And if you have a tank, what are you going to transport it with? So I guess you're going to need one of these things as well, right? To transport your tank. I don't know what you would use a tank for, honestly, in Star Citizen or in what fashion or form. But that's about it for the main hull. Let's go ahead and try and see if we can get into some of the side holes. Really nice lighting here. It's quiet and peaceful. None of that awful music. Alright, what do we have here? So, these are the tumbrel vehicles. So, these are just ground vehicles. As you guys can see, there's not much to it. It's like a Jeep, pretty much. The tumbrel, what is it called? Cyclone, yes, it's the Cyclone. So there's a few different versions now. There's the one with the gun, there's the one with the missiles, and then there's the one with the missiles and the guns that came out very recently. And then there's the one that doesn't have anything. It's basically just able to drive around, pretty much. I think it can carry some cargo in the back. It might be able to. Anyways. So those are the ground vehicles. Now, you guys, if you've watched my videos, you know that I don't recommend you guys spending your real money on ground vehicles. Those can be purchased in-game very, very easily. Now, here's the Mercury Star Runner. We've talked about the Mercury Star Runner before. I've done a video on the Mercury Star Runner. So again, this is from Crusader Industries, same people that are doing the Hercules spaceships. So Mercury Star Runner is a little bit different. It is a data runner. It has a large server capacity inside the ship to store data, to transport data, to capture data. And also has a really nice cargo hold. Obviously not as large as the C2 or the M2, but nonetheless, it's a very fast ship. It's a smaller version of the C2 and the M2. So that's about it for hull number 3. Let's go ahead and see if we can visit the other hulls. Alright guys, here we are in the other hull. Wow, so this is MISC. This is all MISC. What do we have here? I keep forgetting the name of this ship. It's the Reliant Tana. Now, these ships I generally don't recommend. I can't really recommend it. It's from MISC. This is the light freight version, so this the small cargo carrier. I don't know. I just don't like these ships, to be honest. To be very honest with you guys, I don't like these ships. They're very unique. They're a mix of human and Xi'an technology, hence why they can either travel in the horizontal or the vertical. So basically, they can flip around. They're very unique. I'll say that. But generally, I don't like it. I wouldn't spend money on that. This is the MISC Razor EX. This is the stealth version. So the Razors are like the F1s, as you guys can see. You guys can easily make out where the artist that concepted this ship was inspired by. It's basically an F1 car. It is a racer. Now, I'm not sure what is a racer doing being stealth. I have no idea why an F1 would be a stealth one. So if you're into racing and stuff like that, there are 3 different variants of this: the stealth one, the racing one, pure racing one, and then there's a fighter one, fighter variant. So generally I'd stay away from these. They're just like toys. They're gimmicks. Like if you own a real ship and you can make money with it, you could definitely buy this in-game with in-game credits rather than spending your money, unless of course that's the only ship that you want. You want just a MISC Razor just to race around, then yeah, sure, by all means. Now, another great MISC ship right here. This is the Freelancer Miss. This is the Freelancer Miss. This is a gunship, and it's only available during very limited times for sale. Now, this ship is amazing, guys. It's amazing at what it does. No, I don't want to rent it. So this thing is absolutely great at what it does. Basically, it's armed with a lot of missiles, tons of missiles, and it's equipped with 4 size 4 forward-facing guns, or obviously 4 size 3 gimbal guns. But this thing is amazing. It is amazing. It can dish out a lot of firepower. It is basically the combat version of the normal Freelancer from MISC. Obviously with less cargo space as well than a normal Freelancer. Now, it's a great gunship. This thing is the Starfarer, and I believe this version is the Gemini. Yes, this is the Starfarer Gemini, which is a combat refueling tanker and transport carrier. It can carry some troops, and it also has some missiles on the front. But of course, its main job is to refuel military vessels. Now, once the refueling mechanic comes in, this ship will be a great ship. It will be a great moneymaker. Not specifically the Gemini, but even the base model, the civilian version of the Starfarer, is actually pretty good too, to make money. This will be a great money earner once the refueling and fuel harvesting mechanics are in. This will be a great ship. Now, whether you're looking for the military version or the civilian version, obviously the military version, as I said, has more seats to transport soldiers, and it has those missiles as well. Now, moving on, let's see if there's more ships to look at, and I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, so just a correction, just a small correction. So I made a mistake. This one right here is the A2. So this is in fact the A2 Starlifter. So this is the bomber version of the other Starlifters. So this is the A2. This is the A2. It has a whole heck of a lot more firepower, and of course the bombs. So it can carry a Moab, basically the mother of all bombs kind of thing, or equivalent to the Daisy Cutter that was used in Vietnam, kind of like similar to what was used in Vietnam. So this thing can carry that really, really large, powerful bomb that it can drop out of its bomb bay. Now, this version, the A2 version, has the least amount of cargo space out of the three. So the C2 is the most cargo carrying, the A2 is the least, and the M2 is in the middle. This thing obviously can carry either, I think it's either one or two really large Moab type bombs, or it can carry lots and lots of smaller cluster bomb type munitions, basically, so you can carpet bomb, and it is the most expensive version of the three. But so out of the three here, which one would I recommend? So this being the C2, that being the M2, and this being the A2, well, it depends. If you're looking for just an honest to goodness cargo carrier that can carry a lot of cargo, this is good. The C2 is fine. The M2, it's in between. It's armored and it has a little bit more firepower, but it has less cargo carrying capacity than the C2. But it's not quite an A2. So, if I was to recommend one, honestly, I'd recommend the C2. I'd just recommend the C2, unless of course you're looking for a bomber. Then you would go for the A2. But I don't know why you would go for the M2. I don't see any reason why anyone would go for the M2. So you'd either go for the bomber, the straight-out combat version, right? Or you'd go with the civilian version that has the most amount of cargo carrying capacity. So the M2 is kind of the odd one out here, in my opinion, and I would either go with the C2 or the A2. But keep in mind, the A2 is really expensive. It is super-duper expensive. Again, more Tumbrel Cyclone ground vehicles, and of course, we've got the display hall here. Let's go ahead and have a look at the display hole. Let's see what there is for us to see. So this is the Aries. This is the Aries fighter from Crusader Industries. So this is the Aries Inferno. So this is a heavy fighter. This is a heavy fighter, just like the Aegis Dynamics Vanguards. So this thing is coming later on this year. Now, yours truly owns one of these, and I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on my Aries Inferno. Now, there's two different versions. There's the Inferno that has a size 7 ballistic Gatling gun, and then there is the Aries that has the size 7 laser weapon, I believe it is. Yeah, Crusader Aries Starfighter Inferno. So the Inferno is if I'm not mistaken, the Inferno is the ballistic version. The Aries is the energy weapon. So this thing's really going to be really awesome at taking out medium to large ships. So this thing will take the niche of a heavy fighter from the Vanguard Harbingers and the Wardens and stuff like that. I can't recommend this ship enough, guys. So once it is ready, once it is flight ready, I think in Q3 of this year, the price will definitely go up. So if you're looking for a heavy fighter, You can't go wrong with this, guys. So this is currently the same price as a RSI Scorpius. So I would definitely pick this over the Scorpius. However, keep in mind that this thing may not be as good at fighting smaller fighters. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So it's good at fighting medium to large ships. And what do we have here? The Tumbrel Ranger TR. So this is a combat bike. And I said that before, I'm going to say it again. I could never understand, I could never fathom what the purpose of a combat bike is. Like, I don't understand how this small, teeny bike can take the recoil of two size 1 cannons like that. What is that, size 1, size 2? I don't even know, guys. If you want a combat bike, there it is. But I personally wouldn't buy one of those. At least not with real money. Maybe later on in-game with in-game money just to try it out, just to have one. Why not? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching day 3 of the Invictus Launch Week. I hope this video was helpful to you. Now, if you guys watched to the end, if you're still watching, go ahead and let me know in the comments section. So, yeah, thank you so much. If you watched all the way to the end of the video. If you didn't watch till the end of the video, still thank you. Thank you for coming out here, spending your time watching my video. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. Remember, if you liked the video, go ahead and like the video. And if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. I'll be covering all of the days of Invictus Launch Week. And of course, there's a lot more coming, guys. There's a lot more content coming from Invictus Launch Week, and I'll be there to cover it for you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, please take care, and bye-bye.